What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another This Week with Waffles, where we go over the TWAB or Destiny 2. As you know, the release of Beyond Light happened this week, and we are now jumping right into it. They're giving us information from Tuesday to now to about all the little things that's been happening. I've been hearing so much talk over Twitter and over Discord and all types of stuff. I've heard about a lot of good things like the loot cave and all that stuff popped up for a hot minute, so people got to indulge themselves in something that was classic with Destiny 1. But without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about what news they got going on for us. So obviously they dig in about what's going on and start to talk about the season of the hunt. Okay. They begin with, giving a little brief explanation about stasis and what it does against combatants. And there's been a lot of back and forth about this right now. And I feel as though like I'm being attacked, but I also feel like other people are kind of like up and down, a little frustrated because it's a new play style and they're not used to it. So we go over a little bit here. Stasis slow, against combatants, how it will slow, shut off combatants' movement abilities and slow their movements. And a lot of players are not used to this. So being affected by this within the Crucible on the PvP side of life definitely is a new experience for a lot of folks who haven't played games with these kind of effects in them. So the feedback has been astronomical. Hopefully Bungie takes this into consideration and does a little bit of maintenance to it. I've heard they did a maintenance earlier today. I'm not sure what they changed. Maybe they'll go into that a little bit deeper down below in the TWAB. So let's get there. All right. Against players, the stasis will slow their movement, reduce their ability regeneration, and suppress movement abilities such as jumping and dodging. It reduces the following weapon stats as well: the ADS speed, the move speed, the weapon reload, the weapon handling, and the weapon kick direction, which is actually pretty cool. And also reduces the weapon's accuracy. Obviously, the weapon kick part is actually interesting to me. Maybe it will, I guess for you, it reduces that, right? Not for the other person that it affects, but it says against players, so we'll see. And then the stasis freeze for all targets. It freezes them, freezes and can be shattered by damage. Shattering a freeze causes it to do AoE damage to the frozen target and all other nearby enemies. All right, the freeze lasts for a certain duration before crumbling off. And unlike shattering, a freeze that crumbles does not do any damage to the frozen enemy or nearby enemy combatants. All right, so that's a plus. So it's not an AoE damage effect that will hit everybody, and as it slowly falls off, it doesn't do any AoE damage when it just naturally falls off. All right. That's against regular combatants. Now against players, the freeze will lock the players in place when applied for a duration of time, and then while frozen, the players will have their abilities replaced with a new breakout ability that they have to spam the button to get out. Kind of like in, if you played any other single player story game that had this kind of thing in it, you obviously know tapping the button. Some people don't like this. While frozen, the damage the damage done can be reduced by the resilience stat from being frozen. All right, so the more resilience, the less damage you take while you are frozen. All right, players can also activate their supers to immediately break out of this the frozen state. All right, against players in roaming, supers locks players in place until broken out, and players will quickly shatter out and take a small amount of damage. So if you're in your super, you should be able to immediately get out unless you get bodied. Can't help you there. Against one-off supers, all right, so suppresses the super and then locks the players in place until frozen out or expires. All players freeze rules apply here. So it's very interesting to see this in play. I've watched a couple of streams with a couple of my friends, and I've watched them interact and use this in PvP. Less than I haven't really paid attention to anybody in PvE, but in PvP, where I'm hearing a whole lot of different opinions, so to say. But it's interesting to see. It's a new play style. Obviously, we're gonna have to get used to it. Obviously, it might need some adjustment and tuning for the PvP lifestyle and life cycle, because we got trials coming up tomorrow. So it's gonna be super interesting for the first week to see how hard this thing is going to be hitting. And they got some wallpapers for us to enjoy right now for some 4K downloads and some 1080p wallpapers to just have at it. So expect to see these in a lot of my thumbnails. All right, so As we go down, it says the flight dynamics officer. When it's time to launch new content, obviously the player support team are in the virtual room where it happens, making sure that you are informed of the status of the game and keeping track of known issues. All right. So connections to servers issue and all the server issues that they were having November 9th, the stability and everything, the error codes, including Guitar and Arugula, will provide more information once it becomes available. But the Beyond Light license and seasons, many players reported that they purchased Beyond Light but don't have the season pass and can't access the campaign and all that stuff. So season passes aren't in the standard edition of Beyond Light, so players who purchase the edition will have to purchase the season pass in the game. Additionally, season passes can't be shared between accounts, so keep that in mind. I think a lot of players who are coming in and brand new think that if they just buy the base game or buy just Beyond Light that they get the season pass along with it. That's why the price is different. All right, so if you go and look into the Steam store or the PlayStation store or the Xbox store, whatever those are called, you will notice that the price is different. For the base version of Beyond Light, it's about 30 or 40 bucks. And then for the deluxe edition with the season pass, it is about 50. All right, so there's a little bit more. I think you can buy the season pass by itself with silver for about 10 bucks by itself if you need to get that extra piece. So there's a little bit of bargain there. I know if you pay the $50, you get some extra little things here and there for the deluxe editions, and then and so on. And the price obviously increases the higher the version you get. There's a super deluxe or whatever, the digital deluxe that they have for like 80 bucks, where you get a few some shaders, some emblems, and emote, and exotic access to an exotic and the exotic catalyst, which is actually pretty good, and an exotic sparrow. So you should definitely check that out if you want to. If not, just be aware that season pass, you need to purchase both or a specific edition to have both. All right. For Xbox, players should look at their order history to confirm that their transaction of Beyond Light was successful, and make sure that all that stuff is in line and before putting in a support claim. And then for PlayStation, same deal. Check it out. Make sure all that stuff is in line before you put in a support issue. For the Steam users, the library, right click on the Steam Destiny 2 properties and then click the DLC tab. Make sure that Beyond Light and all DLC content is installed. All right. A lot of people don't know this, but sometimes Steam will leave out a DLC or two if you've accidentally gone in and clicked on that little picture off to the side. It can happen, and just be aware of it. It'll just turn the DLC off. All you have to do is click it back on. It'll reinstall it, verify, and you can go about your business. All right, midweek updates that they're talking about. So they said they disabled the Rose hand cannon due to the RPM still being in the 150 range instead of the 140, and the issue will be resolved in a future update. And then they also noticed that legendary drop rates were changed in the Widow's Walk. This was the Loot Cave 2.0, as it was being called for the time that it was up, has been corrected, and now it's back to normal. So everybody who got a leg up, obviously they're going to be all ready to go for the day one raids and stuff like that. Everybody's pretty much done their grind. I know at the start I saw a hammer of people just every day going in, and now since this happened, it just stopped. Everybody's done their grind now. They're just waiting for raid day, essentially, casually playing along. They don't have to dig in deep for multiple hours on end just to try to get to soft cap. So if you weren't able to get in on that, sucks. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people who didn't get a chance to experience it, but it is what it is. I think stuff like that kind of ruins the experience of the game just to get a leg up so you can do an activity. I mean, that's the purpose of the in-game loop. I hope that this won't affect those people saying, hey, there's nothing to do in a couple of weeks when they've hit in-game or, max light level or power cap, which is the hard cap. Because they've done something of this nature and then they got there too fast. So to them, like, the grind is basically over. So there's that. NVIDIA Reflex and Destiny 2 PC, they're investigating or support issues with that. We got the migration and Battlenet ending. Oh yeah, don't forget December 1st, 2020, 9 a.m. they will stop Battlenet migration. So if you were a former player and you never moved your account over, even if you don't play the game, I highly suggest that you move the game over. It's a waste of money. You spent the money on it. You may not be coming back to it anytime soon. You might want to dig into it later on down the line. You never know. Just so you don't have to lose anything or any progress that you had or guns and stuff that you earned within those first years, make sure you pull your stuff over to Steam. Make sure you move it, do all the cross-play stuff. I do have a guide for that in my YouTube channel, so please check that out. Oh, so by the way, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, share, subscribe. Check out the YouTube channel. Help me out. Your boy trying to get to 100 subs. All right. I'm also live on, I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/silenceiswaffles. So if you want to come check me out sometime, you can go over there, click the follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. And there's that. You can also follow me on Twitter as well. All that stuff will be down below in the description. And there's also a little infographic over there underneath the TWAB that's currently showing. Back to it. Known issues. We will continue. They talk about we will continue to keep investigating these things. They have a full-blown decked out list, but here are the high-end priority list ones right here. The Fabled Warrior Triumph doesn't count weapons that were purchased from the Moments to Lost Light Exotics archive. All right, so that's an issue. The Europa Patrol to the nth power can't be progressed by warlocks using stasis. That's a huge problem. Sometimes vendors and enemies have model deformations. Players who dismantle stasis fragment quests must wait a week before picking up a new one. The one-inch punch finisher won't kill enemies if players have stasis equipped. Kill-based weapon perks may work inconsistently on stasis frozen shatter kills. XI players are experiencing crashes while in a tower, especially when opening their vaults. Cutscenes suffer from severe stutter and results in an extremely poor viewing experience for some PC players. Many multi-part emotes stop playing after they enter their animation. Warlock's Frost Pulse can fail to freeze targets if there's an experience in elevation when using PlayStation Remote Play, and the controller settings reset to default. And then on Xbox One, the chat volume slider does not affect incoming voice chat. All right, again, there's a full list in their section. You can see that known issues article highlighted. If you go to their website, you can go there and click that so that you can read those. And then you got the normal movie of the weeks. Go support these guys, look at their content, follow them on YouTube, give them a subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we also got a couple of we got some new, this is the new movie of the week banner or emblem, I mean, and then the artist of the week as well. So you know they do that as well. Go follow these people too. They crazy talented folks, man. Crazy talented folks. All right. So without further ado, that's it. Y'all know what it is. It's a new season. Everybody's gonna have complaints. Everybody's gonna come into it. Not all the new people are gonna come into it not knowing what's going on. I hope you are enjoying yourself. I hope you are pacing yourself. You're not ODing, and just be smart about it. Enjoy your time. Don't burn through all of it. Don't burn out on the game in 2 weeks or 3 days or 4 days or whatever the case may be. All right. I hope you enjoy yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, peace.